Hey, my name is Aaron White and we are J&A Home Buyers. Today we're going to be talking about a house that you may have inherited and help you decide some of the high-level differences between going through the probate process in Texas or selling a house with an affidavit of heirship. This is only an educational video. We're not an attorney, but we certainly work with attorneys on a regular basis and we can get you in touch with the right person. The purpose of this video is to educate you on the differences, see which one you may or may not qualify for, and help you decide what the best route is for you and your family as you go through this process. We're also going to give you a quick example at the end of Affidavit of Heirship, as this is the one we typically get most questions about. What is it? How does it work? And where do I start? So let's walk through the probate process. First of all, if you have a dispute in the family as to who gets what in terms of property and what percentage, you're going to need to go through the probate process. Second of all, if the deceased left a will, you're going to need to go through the probate process in order to execute the wishes of that deceased person in the will. So the probate process is a judicial process, meaning you'll go through the court systems to assign the property fairly according to the wishes of the deceased and according to the laws of Texas. And this is where you'll go through this. So very quickly, when they start the process, they're going to review the will if there is a will and validate the fact that it is a valid will. And then second of all, they're going to appoint an executor. This is usually outlined in the will. If there's not an executor in the will or there's no will, then the court will appoint an executor at that time. They'll handle a lot of the administrative tasks in the probate process. Then they're going to go through the process of creating an inventory. What are the assets and what are the liabilities? What are the debts owed, taxes owed, etc. Once that's done, they're going to go through the process of paying off debts, paying off taxes, and assigning those assets to the beneficiaries according to the laws of Texas or according to the wishes of the will. And then once that's distributed, the court will approve it and the assets are distributed accordingly. Now, the probate process typically takes between a couple months to a year. It really depends on the complexity of the assets that the deceased had, or also the disputes that the family may have as to who gets what or what the meaning or intent of the will was, etc. So that gives you an idea. There will be more cost associated with this process, but this is very necessary to go through if you are in one of those two situations. So what is an affidavit of heirship? Well, the state of Texas did their best at designing a process in which they would try to understand maybe what the best wishes of the deceased would be if they had no will. So if they had no will, then this is what you would go through a process essentially if there are no disputes in the family as to who gets rights to what things. If someone doesn't want to sell a property, for example, or if one of the heirs does not agree with the way the property is being split up evenly as per the laws of Texas, then you would still need to go through the probate process even though there is no will. It's a judicial process that evenly splits. So this assumes that all inheritors or all the beneficiaries will be receiving an even split and that everything is in agreement amongst the parties in the process. If that is for you, then an affidavit of heirship is certainly a lot cheaper, a lot faster, and can get through the process of dividing that property and the rights to that property in a quick manner to sell the property. So, an affidavit of heirship is simply a document. It's a legal document that outlines who is deceased and who are the beneficiaries and how it's going to be distributed. The other thing that's on an affidavit of heirship is you have to have two witnesses that are not part of the family, have no interest, meaning they're not going to receive anything from the inheritance, that know the deceased in the family for over 10 years. They're going to need to sign this document with a notary present to verify the fact that they know that these are the people that rightful claims to the property or the inheritance. This process can be done in just a couple weeks and have all the paperwork signed and ready to sell the property. So it's pretty lightweight and quick to turn around. Of course, you need an attorney to do this for you. It can't just be done on your own. And we can get you in touch with a title company that can give you a questionnaire, answer some basic questions that will help the attorney outline and draft the document, walk you through the steps of what it means, and then you're prepared to sell that property. Now, let's give you an example. Why would someone use an affidavit of heirship and what does it look like? So let's say you have a house, right? And we have a person who owned this house. The father had passed away, and they had 3 children. Now, these 3 children would all technically get an even split of that house. However, prior to the father passing away, unfortunately, one of the children had passed away as well. And so here you have only 2 heirs remaining, 2 beneficiaries remaining. Now, this child had also had 2 children of their own. And so Texas, the way Texas looks at this is that this person still has the rights to that property or the share of that property, and therefore the 2 remaining heirs would receive equal rights to that share. So 1/3 of the property's value would be split between these 2 children here. So what the Affidavit of Heirship does essentially is it says, hey, there are no other heirs or no other people that can have claim to this property. These are the witnesses over here that have verified that they know this family for more than 10 years and that everything in here is factual. And this is typically put together with the deed in the process of selling that house. Now, J&A home buyers have several realtors on their team, but we're actually home buyers, meaning that we are investors that buy houses as is. A lot of times you may not want to do the work needed to bring that property up to speed, whatever it be. We can help you through that process and through the sale of the property as a realtor, getting you top dollar, helping you give recommendations on how to get the best list price on that property, or buying the house direct from you. If we can help you through this process, reach out to us, give us a call. We'd be happy to walk you through it.